Flosstube. My name is Danielle, and this is my channel where I talk about mostly cross stitch and sometimes some other things that are important to me. So today is going to be a little bit of both. This is my HoliVlogs day 4, but you might notice I don't have my festive stuff going on, because I thought that for the first part of this video, we needed to be a little bit more serious. So I have been unboxing Tiny Presents times 5, but going forward from today, I'm only going to be unboxing Tiny Presents times 3. There's been a discussion going on in the cross-stitch community for several months now, and I have been listening and digesting, absorbing the conversation, but I was grappling with it some. I was trying to process how I felt about it and what I personally wanted to do. You know, I was grappling with what was the right decision for me to make. And the discussion that I am referring to is not supporting businesses that sell content that is inspired by or based around the Harry Potter universe. And ever since I learned about the issues surrounding Harry Potter, it was definitely a no-brainer to me that anything legally licensed was definitely, a no-go. Like anything that J.K. Rowling herself would profit off of was not something that I would support, because I'm sure a lot of you probably know this. If you happen to not know what I'm talking about at all, I probably cannot explain it nearly as well as some others can. I would encourage you to check out Dee's 20 Stitches. They have several Flosstube videos and have talked about the issue very openly, honestly, and most importantly from the perspective of a person who is directly impacted by the opinions, beliefs, what have you, of the author of Harry Potter. But basically, like, if you want to boil it down to a sentence or two, the author of Harry Potter does not believe that trans women are women. The author of Harry Potter, does not believe in transgenderism. That's its core. Again, there are many others who are most importantly, telling the perspective of a person who is being harmed by these beliefs, opinions, and the actions that the author of Harry Potter has taken to, promote those. So that is not an ideal, that is not a belief that I agree with or support at all. And the disconnect that I was having between not supporting that and not being able to fully figure out what the right decision for me to make was I wasn't fully seeing the connection between how businesses or artists or whoever that create and or sell art and products that are inspired by and based off the Harry Potter universe, how that is affecting the trans community. So, like I said, for as long as this conversation has been going on in the community, which has been a few months now, I believe, I've been, seeing posts, listening to voices, reaching out to a couple of people to talk to them and how they feel, and sort of going back and forth about the issue. And yesterday, the day that I did not do a HoliVlog because I was I was exhausted and had to go to bed, but I saw a lot of stories on Instagram, and I had just watched Dee's Whip Parade, and even though Dee did not get as detailed about the issue as they have in other videos, you know how sometimes you'll hear something and even though you've heard it before, all of a sudden it clicks. And Dee said something to the effect of that we can't give Harry Potter power in our culture. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, like now it makes perfect sense, and I don't know why it took me as long as it did to make the connection. So when we give Harry Potter, like, we can't do anything about what's already out there. It's out there, it is what it is. But by creating and producing and putting out into the world more Harry Potter content, we continue to give Harry Potter power in our society and culture. And the more power we give to Harry Potter, the more power the author of Harry Potter has. It's a correlation. And that also then translates to the more power we give people like the author of Harry Potter and people who believe as she believes. Because a lot of people may say, well, I can boycott whatever, but it's never going to hurt the author of Harry Potter. And you might be totally right about that. But there are a lot of people that hope to basically do exactly what this woman has done, and look at everything she's done basically as a playbook. And so, and the problem is that this power that the author of Harry Potter and others like the author who believe as the author does, that translates into real world harm against trans people in the form of violence, in the form of discrimination, and in the form of legislation against trans people, and legislation that protects people who do the harm to trans people. And I also realized, as it was interesting, because as I gained that chunk of understanding that I hadn't connected before, I also realized, and again, I've heard this, I've heard this said before, but sometimes you need to hear it a certain way, or a certain amount of times you need to be in the right frame of mind. I don't know what it is, but I've heard this before. But again, it clicked all at the same time that it's not about me understanding. It's not about me understanding what the right thing to do is. It's about me believing the community of people that is saying that they are being hurt by something. And that's all that's needed, is for us as allies to believe the marginalized community. it doesn't matter if I fully understand why it hurts that community. And truthfully, I can never fully understand why it hurts that community due to my privilege of being a cis individual, being somebody whose gender identity aligns with their biological sex. I cannot fully understand their trauma, their experience of things. So it's not about me understanding it anyways. So I was doing a lot of very heavy, thinking and feeling yesterday about all this. And I want to, before I forget, I want to take this moment. I'm going to put some Instagram handles on the screen of at Resist Stitch, at, I believe it's Elaine's stuff. D's 20 Stitches. They were the primary three yesterday who posted some stories talking about their perspective, their take on things. And then also Michelle Bindi and Mislaid Pages reposted some of their stories, in support and whatnot. And those words had a big impact on me because clearly, I had a little bit of a breakthrough that I don't know why it took me as long as it did to have. But I have come to the decision that I, along with other allies to the trans community in the stitching community, will not be endorsing companies that still sell products that are based on Harry Potter. So that means, as far as this channel, most immediately, like I said, my Tiny Presents ×5 is going to Tiny Presents ×2, because the Black Needle Society and Forbidden Fiber Co. still sell products that are based on Harry Potter. And I do think that it's important, because it was important to me to note one of the things that really weighed heavily on my decision to not support particularly Black Needle Society is that, and this is something that was heavily prominent in Elaine's Instagram stories, the people who run the Black Needle Society also run the company called Love You More Studio Co., and they make book sleeves. And when the community reached out to these individuals on the Love You More Studio Co. side of their business about taking down, not selling Harry Potter themed merchandise, they reacted by taking that stuff down. And so it was like, oh, okay, good. Thank you, for hearing us and doing, ceasing to cause harm to our community. But when they were approached to do the exact same thing on the Black Needle Society side of their business, they refuse. And to me, what that says, I haven't had personal conversations. I have not, I don't have any inside knowledge other than they refuse to cease the Harry Potter stuff. But to me, what that says is that it doesn't even really matter what they think about the issue itself. It feels like that's a business decision, like that's a financial decision, that perhaps the Love You More side of the business could absorb whatever loss there may be from doing that, or that there wouldn't really be much of a loss from doing that. But the Black Needle Society side could not absorb that kind of loss. So to me, it's almost worse when it's just purely about money. Because when it comes down to money or people, you should choose people. So that weighed heavily on my decision, because I didn't know that. I didn't know that they had previously agreed to take down Harry Potter merchandise on Love You More side. And then again, in Elaine's stories, it was brought to their attention that they have since actually gone back on Love You More side to selling the Harry Potter merchandise. So again, that does not feel, you know, very authentic, or feel like they are understanding and recognizing the harm that's being caused. So, like I said, going forward, I will not be, you know, for the rest of the holiday season with my vlogs, I will not be showing my items from Forbidden Fiber Co. or Black Needle Society. If in the future I am showing either I'm working on a project that has a fabric or a floss, or, you know, something that I have already received that's already in my stash, I will, you know, simply say, you know, I'm working on this thing. It's from a company that I do not currently at this time talk about on the channel, but, you know, here's my project. Most people will probably like know what it is. I mean, I have gotten several Black Needle Society boxes. I have a lot of Forbidden Fiber Co. floss. I have several Forbidden Fiber Co. kits. So, you know, all I can do is make the right decision from this point forward. So, with all that said, I'm going to pause. I'm going to grab our 3 tiny presents for today, and I'm going to get festive. Be right back. Okay, we're back and we're festive now. And even though, so I'm filming in a different spot because normally I film later, like after everybody's gone to bed. I actually kind of like, because I'm a night owl, I start my day, I do my unboxing stuff like right after midnight. So it is, you know, the day out, but everybody's in bed. So I film in the dining room. But I am still on a super sucky sleep schedule. So the family is still up, so I am recording in the spare bedroom. You can see behind me, those are all the bags, because it's a spare bedroom and it's just space sitting here. That's where I decided to keep all the tiny presents. And even though the lighting sucks, you can see my festivity better than in the dining room. So this is my bag today. It has penguins. Oh, and oh my gosh, the Christmas lights. I'm a sucker for Christmas lights. So first I'm gonna open the Forbidden Fire, the Fangirl Fibers. That's an easy one to confuse. But I wanted to show you yesterday's. I opened everything off camera yesterday, but yesterday's was the fabric for the pattern that I'm about to open. So the lighting sucks, but this is predominantly blue with some pink and purple going on. It's really pretty, and I was so excited to see how small it is. Y'all, I have too many big projects. Too many big projects. But today, day 4 is definitely a part of the pattern. Now, I do know from my conversation with Emily from when I bought the box, the designer, I believe, if I'm remembering the name right, is Abby Sue Designs. And Abby Sue Designs is the person who designed the Dogs of Disney stitch along. So I am a little concerned that there's gonna be a lot of backstitch. I have visited Abby's like Instagram and Facebook and stuff, and their designs can be a little backstitch heavy, but I was excited to see that it's small, so maybe that will kind of compensate for the fact. And I do know, I don't think any of the materials that I got around the box said this, but the title of the box has something to do with like 25 days of Disney, or no, 25 days of Magic Kingdom or Magical Kingdom or something like that. So I do know that that is like probably a perfect pairing, because Abby Sue Designs does do a lot of Disney designing. Okay, so yay, we have a cover photo. So this is not a mystery. It is called the 50 Years of Magic Cross Stitch Pattern. It is 85 by 104, 10 colors, that's not bad. And it is a Disney castle. I'm not sure which one because I'm not familiar enough to know, but it says in the little snow globe, here you leave today and enter the world of yesterday, tomorrow, and fantasy. That's cute. Oh Lord, I see the back stitch. So that's the pattern. Oh Lordy, I see the back stitch. So yeah, this isn't in parts at all, actually. So I do know there are more envelopes. So I don't know if there are more designers or if the designer designed multiple patterns, because this is a whole pattern. Y'all, the back stitch. Yeah, remember when I said it's small, so the back, you know, maybe that'll make up for the back stitch. Nope. But I will say, if I end up stitching this, I do have a perfect recipient, because as I've said on my channel many times before, my best friend is the biggest Disney fan in the world. Okay, so next we have Stitchy Box ×2, because I got both the countdown box and the bash box. Again, I don't know which one is which. I may actually reach out to her and suggest, even though I'm sure it's probably not common for people to buy both, it might be nice if the note included what, hold on, y'all. Oh, okay. Ooh, I was like, I got nothing in here. What is happening? Okay, it's a little charm. Our tag says, sterling silver snowflake, a fancy sterling silver snowflake, perfect for a special project or a special gift. I don't think there's any way you're going to be able to see this. You know what I like about this though, is it doesn't have the year. I don't know if I, oh, okay, now you can see it well enough. I don't know if I don't like the year, just because I don't want to get like pigeonholed into it. Maybe I'd rather cross stitch the year on. Okay, you have to go somewhere super safe because you are super small. So we're gonna do that. Just put it back in its baggie. Okay, next. And I've noticed so far, well, no, not entirely, but on the first 2 days, the gifts were like the same in theme, or like in item, like floss and stitchy huggies and stitchy huggies, but you know, like the bash box was clearly like nicer, bigger, like more volume, I guess, / nicer. So I was just gonna say, I wouldn't be surprised if it's another charm. And it is, and this should be the bash box then. Santa charm, a happy little Santa to join your Christmas time stitching. This one I can hold a little easier. He's so cute. Look at his little face. I'm going to, which I'm about to show you that here in a second, I'm gonna be finishing my wreath here soon. So Santa is stitched onto the wreath, but maybe I could attach Santa to the wreath. We shall see. Okay, so those are the tiny presents. I have done about 350 stitches since I last recorded. So we need a backer. I don't normally have such poor light that I need a backer, but we need a backer. Okay, so what I did between last night and today was I finished the gingerbread, which took white cuffs, eyes, cheeks, and the pale blue, which is hard to see, but it's just basically the cuffs of the pants. And then all the green in this section. With the green on this wreath, I've been tackling it. First, I do the darkest green because that kind of outlines things, as you can see. And then I'll be doing the majority of the green, which is the mid-tone green. And that will go super fast. Like, this green has already gone fast. I don't know what it is about the green. When I first started this pattern, I thought I was going to hate the green parts and love the motifs. I do like the motifs, but I get burnt out on the motifs. And then I get ready to be like, ready to be done. Ready to stitch the green, because I don't know why, but it goes really fast. So I only actually have a little bit more of the dark green. I have some of it that goes from the bow to the top of the head here. And then I have some up here, like, that comes down. So just a little bit, like probably 2 more strands of that dark green, and then I'll be moving on to the lighter green. So that is my stitchy update. I have done almost 0 additional work on decorating, except that I did get one of my new wooden trees to replace the wooden tree that I talked about. I don't know if I talked about, I don't think I talked about that on HoliVlogs. I think I talked about that in my last Flosstube. So anyways, I'm going to cut this here so we can stay under 30 minutes. And thank you so much for watching and the support. Also, please remember, if you've made it this far, every comment received on my videos does go to, I make donation to Panda Paws Rescue Organization in honor of Buffy and Sabrina. So if you want to leave a comment, please do so. It'll help support an animal rescue organization. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye, Flosstube.